Welcome back again today, everybody, to Fuller's Outdoor Country. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Got a little cooler weather moved in, man. It feels good. It's been in the high 80s and 90s for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it's been just unbearable. So if you've seen, we went and got our lumber, had some rough cut hemlock and oak made, and I've been doing a little work off camera here. We had a bunch of boards on. I done tore most of that stuff off. I didn't, it was cool one evening, really after dark really, and I just didn't film it. So we're going to get into this today now and get started on tearing some of this down. I'm gonna get my tractor before I get too far ahead of myself. As you can tell, I put this wafer board on right around 2000, middle of 2019, and yeah, we know what happened to 2019, and I didn't get it done, and now it's 2025, and this stuff is rotted. So we're going to just keep on tearing some of this stuff out. And I'll bring you back in sections. I know you don't want to see all this stuff, but what we're doing though, if you've just tuned in, is we're going to redo this building. We're going to turn all this into storage. This used to be where we had the goats and stuff in here and the birthing area. We don't have goats no more, and we're going to turn it all into storage, make us a nice storage building out of it. So we're repurposing a building. We thought actually about tearing it down and building this bigger one, but at this point I don't have time, and we just got to work with what you got. And we're going to try to get more into this, and we'll bring you along as we go. This might be something you want to see about doing this. We're going to build a storage area inside and a chicken coop area, which the chicken coop's already in there. We're just going to redo it and make it more predator proof. So, all right, we'll bring you back here in a little bit. All my girls are coming out to see what all the ruckus is about. These are all my Rhode Island Reds. They're curious. I think they're happy they're going to be getting a new home, but you can see we're making some pretty good progress. I got quite a few sheets tore off, and next project is got to get this piece. Get this piece here off the end, and then I'm gonna start taking the windows down. So, but it's coming along pretty good. One thing you want to do, if anytime you're removing a bunch of old boards, you're going to have nails, make sure you have you a bucket or a pail or something there to throw your nails and screws in, because if you just toss them down on the ground, you're going to end up later on with getting a flat tire in your tractor or your wheelbarrow, or getting one in your foot. So that's a little tip. This wood just completely rotted. Like I said, I started this and got double pneumonia and the vid, and I was down 4 months the first time, I believe. And then I got pneumonia again, so I slacked. We'll get back into it. I'm gonna get this taken off here. That was in there good. Yeah, watch out for the waspers. It's about the third set I've done already run into. This will be pretty nice when we get all this tore down. Tear that wall down there too. And this will be a big area, storage area in here. So got to clean all the goat manure out here. Like I said, this is where they let them do birthing and stay in the winter. And they really filled her full, so it's gonna have a lot of compost to get there. But one of the hazards, like I said, is watching out for spiders and these critters right there. They're not very friendly. There was one thing about it, there wasn't no shortage of nails in here. It's full of nails, but it was rotted pretty bad. I'm glad we're redoing this. It just breaks off in your hands. All right, everybody. You can see we got the rest of the wafer board taken off, and we had a section in here that was a divider section. I don't know if you've seen it, but got that one piece to take down here. So this could be a pretty good size storage area now. And this place was full of wasps, though. I think there was wasps in here everywhere. But, yeah, I think it's going to be nice. What we're talking about doing is right in here. We were going to build that solid across, and come in these doors out here at the side, but I think I'm going to seal them in and put us a big door right here where we can bring a lot of our equipment in here, and we got a lot of big coolers and stuff and tools and weed eaters, but it's looking better. I'm gonna try to get over here in the shade now. The sun comes back out, it's getting hot, but it looks a little bit bigger now than it did when we started. Even Christine come out and she's like, wow, I didn't realize this thing was this big, just looking at it frontwards. But and over here, we're not sure what we're going to do yet. We're going to get this done first. This is something that we can do a little bit later on when we make up our mind. I'm thinking about just putting like a lean-to area in here so we can park maybe our tractor in here and some of our equipment, lawnmowers maybe. But I just wanted to show you where we were at today. It's getting really hot. I don't know if we're going to do much more. I think this is going to be a good project, though. I mean, I really do. We've been needing a storage area. I had another building built and we lost it during one of the hurricanes. The roof blowed in and we had some trees fall and damage one of our other buildings. And this really was just sitting here where we had goats and stuff for. That right there was mostly our breeding pens for the goats when they was having the little ones. Not the breeding pens, but you know, the birthing pens. I said it wrong. All right, we decided to go ahead and tear this out right here. We're going to try to put I don't know if we're going to put a double door or a one big door. This is our regular door. It goes in here to, down at the end there is where the chicken coop is, and this will be a storage area in here. But like I said, we got it tore out. Chickens is having a blast in here. They're checking out all the, scratching around, checking out, catching the new bugs. But as you can see, over the years we had our pens in here with the does when they was having their little ones, and we would bring a bunch of hay and leaves in here and pile it up to give them a nice warm bedding area. But it built up over the years, and now we're going to have to get it out here and clean it. So it's going to be a lot of compost, which we'll use in the garden. But this will be a pretty good area. But I wanted to show you what we've done. We're cleaning the outside up more, getting this done. And if you're wondering what I'm doing with a brake cleaner out here, when you don't have any wasp spray and you're being attacked, brake cleaner works very good. So that's why we got it here. We might have to do a little repair on this post. After I clean out around it a little bit more, it does have some looks like a little bit of rot damage here, and if we have to, we'll go ahead and take this down also. But that's where we're at right now. Like I said, I could just take this side out too and get in there as far as I could with the tractor and get this out. I got part of that done with the tractor, but just getting it cleaned across through here. And the main thing we got to get done first is this building here. Like I said, our chickens stay in there, and we got to lock them up every night until we get a front door put back on. But they're having a blast out here. What you doing, girls? You chasing bugs? Huh? They're having a good time. They're enjoying this. As you can see, it's goat and chicken manure is coming out in big clumps. That's where they got in here and packed it down, so looks like I'm gonna have to hand load a bunch of it. One thing about it, when it does break down, it will be some good compost for the garden. Holy crap, that's heavy. As you can see what I'm talking about here, we had this separated here, two sides, and we had our certain does, and started out with chickens, then we went to Kiko goats. And when we had certain ones in here that we had in our breeding program, we put one on one side to let her have her little ones, and then we move another one in here on this side. So we kept them separated, and they always had a good place, warm place to give birth. But man, it's going to be a lot of shoveling in here. But you can see this stuff's coming out in big blocks. My chickens, they're having a blast outside. I'm stirring up all these new bugs and stuff. They're loving it. I may eventually take out this wall right here. I don't know. But I knocked that wall down right then coming in here, and that's about as far as I can reach until I lower my ROPS rollover protective system on the tractor. So, all right, I'm gonna get back to work. That is a lot of poo. As you can see how deep it was, the manure was up to here. It's really compacted down. I thought it would be more powdery like this over here, but where the goats and stuff really walked on top of it and packed it down, it's going to be quite the job to get it cleaned out. And you can see all the leaves and stuff that we piled in here to, like I said, when it was in the middle of January and February, we'd saved bags of leaves and straw, and we put it down here for the baby Kiko goats and the mommies when they were doing their birthing. And it's just piled up in here over the years. I'm gonna take all the windows out. That way, like I said, I'm building this for a storage area. And if you can see there behind me, I mean, you can see what we're doing. And this is one of them build as you go things. I started out with a couple of different ideals, and the more we get into it, the more that changes. And I know the manure was deep in here. I just didn't realize it was that deep. So I'd say some of these posts are rotted at the bottom due to the urine and the feces and all that were piled up around the post. So I'm going to check them anyways. I know I got one's got a little damage on it there, but it's still pretty firm. And But I believe that's all we're going to do today. It's getting pretty late in the evening now. I believe we're going to call it a day, and we'll start back tomorrow. So it's getting about supper time. I'm getting a little bit hungry. So, but yeah, it's looking a little different in here now. Like I said, we're going to call it a day today, and hopefully we'll get back in it tomorrow. And we thank you for tuning in to Fuller's Outdoor Country. Living in the country is a lot of work sometimes, and you know, I know a lot of people out here don't want to see this, but this is just part of the life. If we're going to show true life, this is what we're going to have to do. So thank you everybody for watching Fuller's Outdoor Country, and may God bless you and your family, and have a great day. And we'll see you next time. All my girls are coming out to see what all the ruckus is about. These are all my Rhode Island Reds. They're curious. I think they're happy they're going to be getting a new home, but